Hi, I'm Blair, and these are my thoughts on the Pixel Buds Pro. So starting off with the case here. It's a soft touch kind of off-white plastic, not exactly pure white, but I really do like the color of it. I like this little accent bar across the top of it. I love the shape of it. It's a really nice clean oval, very compact, fits really easily in your pocket, slides right in there with those curved edges. So it's really good shape. I like the design of it a lot actually. The case does pick up marks fairly easily. If I leave them in my pocket all day or if I have them at work a lot and I'm moving them around a lot, I've noticed, one or two marks might show up on it, but the really nice thing about this case is that they also wipe off really easily. So you can see I've had this case for probably somewhere around 8-9 months, and it still looks pretty pristine. There's not really any long-lasting marks or anything like that. Anytime one of those comes up, I'm able to just wipe it off really easily. I think there's a really solid spring in the lid. Sounds really nice when you close it. Feels really snappy. That hasn't really diminished at all over the time that I've owned these, which again is since last October. And actually, I really like the way that the buds just kind of snap right into their magnetic little pockets there so that they can charge. Never had any issues with them sitting in there properly so that they're charging properly as well. That's always been super easy. The case does have USB-C, of course. It also utilizes wireless charging, so that's been really nice and convenient. In my experience, the case with the earbuds in it actually charges super quickly. If you're wiring it with a USB-C wire, I've noticed that it charges in about an hour max. It charges really quick. And even if you're using wireless charging, like I think the wireless charger I have in my office is 5 watts, maybe 10, but even that, it charges up in an hour, hour and a half from dead. So I've been really happy with the charging speeds. If you were in a pinch, you could get this thing charged back up super quickly. The one thing that I thought is kind of funny, the wireless charger on this thing is in a position so that on my particular wireless charger, which is angled, I actually have to put it on upside down just so that the wireless charging pad is making contact with the right spot on the case itself. The case does have some indicator lights as well. So when the lid is closed, the light tells you the status of the case itself. White means that it has enough battery to charge the headphones up at least one more time. And orange would mean that the case battery is too low to charge those earbuds back up one more time to full. With the lid open, that tells you the status of the earbuds themselves. So white, of course, is fully charged, and then orange is less than a full charge. It's just a pretty simple notification system. It can be a good way for you to check the status of them in a pinch. So right now I know the earbuds are fully charged, the case is fully charged because both of those lights are white. Now for the earbuds themselves, I went with the coral option. That's just, as you can tell, a color that I really enjoy. A really nice pop of color, I thought. They have some nice other colors as well, like a muted blue, muted green, and then a black. Decided to go with something a little bit more colorful for myself, but of course, always personal preference. I have liked these. I haven't gotten sick of the color, so that's kind of nice. There are 3 mics on the outside of each earbud. You can see kind of moving horizontally here. 3 microphones to help out with, obviously, audio quality if you're on a call or something like that, but also noise cancellation and transparency mode as well. Now, from a software perspective, I think the settings app for the Pixel Buds is pretty simple, but also provides most of the functionality that you could really wish for with a product like this. Makes it super easy to change some things like EQ settings. They actually have an ear tip seal check functionality in there to make sure that they're properly seated in your ears, which I thought was a really nice function. So that can actually recommend a different size of earbud, whether it should be smaller or bigger. They did recently pick up spatial audio. Not a functionality I get to use very much because most of my audio apps don't make use of that, but it does work, and I've tested it out in the settings app itself, and spatial audio is pretty neat. I just wish I got to use it a little bit more. There's also a find device functionality on the Pixel Buds Pro. I don't really know how useful it would be. Essentially the way it works is you go into the settings app, you can basically select which one of your earbuds is missing, and it will play a noise as loud as it can from those earbuds. If you're not in the same room as it, it probably wouldn't be that effective, but you can hear it if it's a quiet room and your earbud is playing that beep. That's kind of helping you find it. But I don't really think it would be useful if the room that it was lost in was loud at all. I think if you were anywhere but a pretty silent room, it wouldn't really be that helpful. That being said, I can show you the last Bluetooth location of the earbuds as well, so you can at least know where you had left them last. And this is just a demo of getting the Pixel's battery widget to properly display the buds' battery levels as well as the cases. The easiest way I've found to be able to see all 3 individual items' battery levels is to open up the case, keep one earbud in the case, and take the other out. And when you do that, it will show you the battery level of all three items in the battery widget or in the notification that will pop up in your notification shade. If you take both earbuds out, those battery levels will of course stick around in that battery widget, but the case's battery level will disappear. So the easiest way I've seen to be able to consistently view the case's battery level in the battery widget is to keep one earbud in and take the other one out. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the experience of actually using them and wearing them every day. It did take me a little bit to figure out how to get them comfortably in my ears. This is actually the first time I ever wore a wireless earbud, so that experience was a bit new to me as well. Once I kind of figured out the right ear tip size for myself and how to seat these properly in my ear, they're super comfortable now, and I love wearing them for a couple hours here and there, and I think they feel really comfortable and really nice. You kind of put the tip in, slightly twist to lock them in, and then really that's it. They sit there really nicely, really flush against your ear, and I really like the way that they feel. They're comfortable, they don't bother me at all, they're not really pushing against anything too much, and +1 for soft bud tips. The hard bud tips have never worked for me, so I really appreciate that they have the soft bud tips, and it makes it a lot easier to get into my ears personally. I've been on a pretty speedy 2-hour road bike ride with them in and had to do very minimal, adjusting and reseating. They stayed in pretty much no problem and sounded great the whole way. A really nice experience actually getting to ride my road bike with these in for a couple hours. It was really fun. There's a nice little graphic on the Google support page that I thought was a great demo of how to get them into your ears exactly, because it might be a little bit different than some of the other earbuds that we might be used to. Now, I've always personally had trouble with earbuds fitting into my ears properly and being comfortable for a long time. I know that's something personal, but for instance, back when I had an iPod, those hard earbuds that used to come with every single iPod, those things never fit in my ears at all. They would fall out after 10 minutes every time, or even 5 minutes, and I'd have to just constantly be reseating them. Soft tip earbuds work for many more people than hard tip earbuds do. Luckily, Google does send you a nice little carrying case for small earbud tips and large earbud tips, so something on the range for everybody, I think. And I guess one final note, because they are soft tip, and obviously you put something in your ear tends to warm up pretty quickly. They do pick up wax pretty easily, especially for someone like me who has kind of waxy ears to begin with. But again, you can just, when you take them out, if you're diligent like I am, wipe them off on the inside of your shirt or something, and they stay pretty clean pretty easily. And over time, you can always use something like this nice brush that I have. I got this on Amazon for maybe 10, 15 bucks or something like that. And it has actually a bunch of different compartments, many different brush sizes that you can use to clean out differently sized devices. And I find it works great for electronics. I use this big brush to wipe out my keyboard, but also you can get down to a very small pick and actually a very small brush as well. And I find these work perfectly for cleaning out the Pixel Buds Pro every once in a while. Now, the touch controls are one of my favorite parts of the Pixel Buds Pro. I think it's very easy to switch between different sound modes, raise your volume, play, pause music, that type of thing, all super easy, with one caveat. What I've noticed is that if you try to use your fingertip a lot of times, you might miss, you might hit the wrong part of your ear and then bump the earbud and actually inadvertently knock it loose, or mess up the seating in your ear and have to actually then readjust it, and that can get kind of annoying. So what I've actually found, I try to use this top knuckle on my finger actually to kind of swipe across. I find that it just knocks the earbud a lot less frequently and makes it a better experience for me in the long run. I kind of actually use my middle finger to first orient myself on the ear to understand where I am, and then that index finger to either tap or swipe or, increase the volume, something like that, whatever the gesture is that I want to do. Turning up the volume is super easy. It's just one swipe forward, one swipe back to turn the volume down, obviously. That works on either side of the ear, as does play and pause. One tap to play, one tap to pause, 2 taps to either skip to the next song or skip forward 15 seconds if you're listening to a podcast, and 3 taps is to reverse 15 seconds or to go back to the previous song. Both of those controls work on either side of the ear. What can be different based on which ear you're doing it is the tap and hold, and this can be customized in the Pixel Buds Pro settings app actually. So for me, on the left side, tap and hold means change sound mode, and you can change that between active noise cancellation and the transparent sound modes. On the right side, I have tap and hold set up to activate the Google Assistant, and that would be a tap and hold and just keep holding while you're talking to the assistant, asking a question, whatever it is you want to do, if you want to text or call somebody. I find that I actually don't use that very much. I've kind of stopped using the Google Assistant. That's a story for another day, but maybe I'll end up changing that at some point in time. You can also do a couple different things with the tap and hold functionality. As with any other earbud, I think it's really convenient to take calls on these things. It makes it nice to be hands-free. That's no news to anybody. I don't think that's the whole point of earbuds, as well as to make it really convenient to take calls on, just like any Bluetooth device that's existed for the past 20 years or whatever it's been. But they sound great. Other people have said I sound super clear and really easy to understand, just as much as if I had the phone up to my head. So I really enjoyed taking calls on these, actually. It's been something that's been really convenient that I didn't have access to before.
This is an audio sample from the earbuds microphones of the Pixel Buds Pro. I think it sounds pretty good, pretty on par with most other earbuds that I've heard. There's some wind around me, some noise from trucks and machinery and whatnot, but I think the voice gets through just fine, and for the most part it does its job. Sounds good enough.
Battery life for these things has been really solid. Like I said, I only use them for a couple hours at a time, 2-3 hours max probably. I have been on an airplane for 3.5 hours, 4 hours, and using them the whole time, and they've been a joy to use the entire time. Didn't run out of battery over that time. Like I said, if the buds themselves did run out of battery, you could pop them back in the case, and the case would charge them back up, back to 100%. So as long as you have the whole thing charged up, you can get many hours of battery life. So let's talk a little bit about the noise cancellation mode and the transparency mode as well, because those are two of my favorite features on these things as well. Noise cancellation, in my opinion, works super solidly for such a small package, better than some headphones that I have even. I have a mid-range pair of headphones from Plantronics, actually, that I got from my work, and the noise cancellation on these things is definitely better than those, which is impressive because those are over-ear headphones. What I'll kind of do, my use case here is I'll have them on in the office, for example, when I go to work. Usually keep them in transparency mode in case someone walks up and wants to talk to me. I could just pause them and talk to them. But the office, of course, gets loud around lunchtime, the afternoon, and I can just kind of tap and hold, switch them to noise cancellation mode, and everybody's voices just shut up. And all I'm hearing is whatever I'm listening to, and that's a really nice feature to have. I've also worn them on the airplane for 3.5 hours. That loud hum that you get in the ambient noise of an airplane has just been, everything just comes down. It's really nice. If you've experienced noise cancellation modes before and other headphones that works well, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's something you should definitely experience because noise cancellation is awesome. It's the best new feature of new headphones. But yeah, I've been really happy with these. I've worn them mowing the lawn several times and can hear everything super clearly of what I'm listening to. I do use the bass boost EQ. I think that actually helps give them a little bit more oomph that they were missing with just the out-of-the-box sound setting, but they give them slightly more volume too, I would say, but just they have a really good sound profile, I think, that I really like with that bass boost EQ turned on. And then finally, the transparency mode. If you're unfamiliar with transparency mode, that's when you have music paused and nothing's playing in your earbuds, and someone walks up to you to talk, you can just have a conversation with them. You don't have to take the earbuds out. Because of those 3 microphones that are on the outside of the earbuds, their voices will just kind of come right through to you as if you're not wearing the earbuds. And it's a really useful feature, especially somewhere like an office where some people might be coming up and talking to you throughout the day. If you have the earbuds on and you're in transparency mode, really the only kind of noise distortion that you might hear is from your own voice as you're talking, because there is still something physical in your ear, and that can always get a little bit of a strange experience if you're talking and something's muffling your voice. But other people sound really great. Everything you're listening to sounds really great. I've gotten really used to it, and it's something that I make use of a lot. Having those 2 modes that are so distinct and so useful has been really an awesome feature for me to make use of. Also, in tandem with the touch controls that exist on the side of the earbuds, knowing those very well, like the back of my hand, has made using these Pixel Buds a really nice, seamless experience. For example, the other day, I was pulling weeds out in my front lawn with the noise cancellation on, and I heard somebody in my left ear say hi to me, and I turned and it was my neighbor's young kid, and I was able to kind of quickly take my glove off, tap to pause the music, tap and hold to switch the earbuds from noise cancellation to transparency mode, and then just basically talk to her with the earbuds in for the next 20 minutes. And it was just a really easy experience, really quick and seamless to make that switch. So I think that's it. Those are my thoughts on the Pixel Buds Pro. I really love them, as you can tell. I've been using them for 9 months so far, and I've loved every minute of it. I make use of them almost every single day, and find I'm really looking forward to using them every time I do, which is always the sign of a great tech product, I think, is when you're looking forward to pulling it out or looking forward to the next time that you get to make use of it. You're excited to use it. That's what gets me excited about tech. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed the content. Do subscribe if you want more of this. Anyways, that's been it. These are the Google Pixel Buds Pro, and I highly recommend them. That's it. Thanks for watching.